Describe the incident which caused the war of Kurukshetra. Maharaj Yudhishthira was the rightful heir to his father's kingdom. But just to favor his own sons, headed by Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, Maharaj Yudhishthira's uncle adopted various unfair means to cheat his nephews of their rightful share of the kingdom. At last, the Pandavas demanded only 5 villages, one for each of the 5 brothers, but that was also refused by the usurpers. This incident led to the war of Kurukshetra. Question 2. What reasons does Vidura give for returning the legitimate share of the kingdom to the Pandavas, expelling Duryodhana 12 and 13? Okay. It comes here. Let's see if it comes here. 12, 13. Actually, it should be 11, no? Why it says 12, 13? You must now return the legitimate share to Yudhishthir, who has no enemies, who has been forbearing through untold sufferings due to your offenses. He is waiting with his younger brothers, among whom is a revengeful Bhima, breathing heavily like a snake. Surely you are afraid of him. At least this A should be based on 11. Expelling Duryodhana. That okay, I can say it can be 12 to 13.
A should be 11 and 12 both.
Which one?
12,
A.
yeah.
Why?
Because
Cannot.
Vidura is saying that Lord Krishna is with them, with Pandavas,
So what?
in the 12th. And in the 11th, he gives the reason that you have not given him, only given suffering, not kingdom. And Bhima is with them, who is revengeful of you.
Different reason, not. 12 and 13 are definitely connected because in 13 he says you are envious of Krishna. And Krishna himself is the supreme personality of Godhead, so you're going to get a lot of suffering for that. So 12 and 13 have a logical connection. 11 has its own, some other set of reasoning. It has another reasoning, different yukti here. Yudhishthira has no enemies. It's first of all, the share is legitimate for him, and he has been forbearing. You have offended him. Bhima wants to kill all of your sons. You're afraid of him. So 11 has its own set of reasoning. And here, 12 from political point of view itself, Lord Krishna is very powerful. His kingdom is very powerful. They've already conquered a number of rulers. And he's very affectionate to the sons of Pritha. They are also very obedient to him. I mean, meaning the kings whom he conquered, they are not rebellious. Because in politics, you have to consider all these things, whether the conquered person actually has trust. I think two-way, I should tell the assessment team. Not to ever assessments. What is this? This is 3.1. Maybe question back. Question back. 2A will be based on 3.1.11. Okay, question 3. Why does Vidura call Duryodhana offense personified? 13.
There is another point also. Why, what the region gave for expelling Duryodhana? A
Hmm.
and B. There are two questions in that.
Yes. So for 2A it is 11, for 2B it is 12 and 13, and I think already the question is a little bit long. It is like a paragraph question.
Okay. So this question is will not be asked.
See, then question 1 itself is a paragraph answer. I think that this batch of Bhakti Bhakti you have to suffer through whatever BOEX is given. That's all.
So question 2 is eliminated.
No, 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 it is not eliminated. They are very much kept. I simply said 2A should be based on 11. 2B
Okay.
on 12 and 13. If they ask 2, then A and B both will come.
Okay.
3. Why does Vidura call Duryodhana offense personified? 13. Hmm. Because he's envious of Lord Krishna. Because he's envious of Lord Krishna. That's all. Question 4. Explain how Maya acted here both internally and externally. 16. For this, the answer will come in Prabhupada's purport. 16. Where is this? This some kind of understanding question or what?
Yeah, it is also some kind of. It is there a bit because he was troubled by his brother
Last sentence,
as
look
well.
at this.
It is.
Where?
It is there in the purport itself. Kind of it takes whole purport. Initially, there comes Vidur could see that Duryodhana under the influence of Maya, the external, he was making progress on the path of
It's too
Saman
long
and
again. It's too long. I'm going to say that avoid question 4 because the answer is too long. That's all. Question 4, I'm cancelling. 5. Why didn't Vidura approach Krishna directly? 17. Must be in the purport only. Okay, at least this sentence. Vidura was conscious that by the association of the diplomatic Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, he had lost his piety and was therefore not fit to associate at once with the Lord. At the time, Lord Krishna was personally present in the world, and Vidura could have at once approached him directly, but he did not do so because he was not sufficiently. Okay. Then 6. Identify some of the facilities offered by holy places of pilgrimage. 17 and 45. Oh my God. There's always a mix between knowledge and understanding, which is very annoying to me. If you test knowledge, you should only test knowledge. For understanding, we have essays. You have essays, your presentation, so many other things. Some of the facilities.
Prabhu, it is written places of pilgrimage.
Yes, of course. They're meant for eradicating sins of the pilgrims. And they're distributed all over the universe just to give facility to all concerned for attaining pure existence and God realization. Okay, so that can be considered one part. Let's go to 45 and see if there's anything here. Here, the purpose of pilgrimages is to remember the Lord constantly. That's all, it's okay. This is okay.
Prabhu, next line is also good.
The purpose of going to a place of pilgrimage is to get the chance to glorify the Lord. All right, okay, that's also okay. Then 7, explain the significance of the Lord's Chakra 23. The Lord's Chakra is a symbol of the power by which the Lord controls the whole manifestation. The tops of Vishnu temples are marked with the symbol of the wheel so that people may have the chance to see the symbol from a very long distance and at once remember Lord Krishna. Eight, list the 3 features of his internal potency. 31. Three features of his internal potency. This is very easy. Out of many potencies of the omnipotent, there are 3 features of his internal potency, namely Samvit, Sandhini, and Hladini. That's all. Over. I see something in the chat box. What is this? How is controlling the whole manifestation with chakra? Sudarshan chakra controls Kala chakra. That's all. Question 9. List members of the Yadu dynasty mentioned by Uddhava in verses 26 to 35. Let's look at this. Where should I look for? I should look for it here. 26 to 35.
Instead of Uddhava, it should be Vidura.
Correct. Correct. Right. Fine. From 26 to 35. So that means who are all here? Original personalities of Godhead are Krishna and Balaram. Then we have Vasudeva. Then Pradyumna, Ugrasena, Samba, then who else we have? Yuyudhana, Akrura, Devaki Devi, Aniruddha, Pradika Charudeshna, Lada, Satyabhama's son. This is that list. Question 10. List reasons why Lord Krishna did not chastise the Kurus immediately after they insulted Draupadi in the assembly at Hastinapura 43. So there were many other kings on earth who had become very proud of the three kinds of possessions: wealth, education, and followers. And they were constantly agitating the earth by movements of military strength. The Lord was just waiting to get them together on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and kill them all at one time, just to make a shortcut in his killing mission. That was the reason.
No, the question is Kurus. Sorry, do not chastise the Kurus. Yeah, correct. Sorry.
Correct only. He wanted to kill the Kurus along with everybody else. He's not interested only in killing the Kurus. The Kurus and their supporters, basically. The others were supporting them. If we support some demoniac
I'm
people
sorry.
also.
I thought there is another question. I actually went for.
Okay, analogies. 9. Purport. The message of God is always like nectar to the devotees, but it is just the opposite to the non-devotee. Sugar candy is always sweet to a healthy man, but it tastes very bitter to a person suffering from jaundice. 14. Purport. It is said that giving good counsel to a foolish person causes the fool to become angry, just as feeding milk to a snake only increases its venomous poison. 18. If one puts letters in post boxes authorized by the General Post Office, the function of carrying letters is performed without a doubt. Similarly, the Archamurti can also deliver the same unlimited potency of the Lord as when he is personally present. 21. Translation. At the place of pilgrimage at Prabhasa, it came to his knowledge that all his relatives had died due to violent passion, just as an entire forest burns due to fire produced by the friction of bamboos. What is this? Sri Bhagavatam 3.4.2, 3.24.27. No. No, no, no. Let me do one thing. Introduction to Canto. Discussion topics, we'll come back to this. Chapter 2, question 1. List some of Uddhava's transcendental qualities. That must be here. Great devotee. He was in excessive anxiety at the remembrance of the Lord. Even in his childhood, he was absorbed in the service of Lord Krishna. In old age, that attitude of service never slackened. He was in devotional ecstasy. He had completely assimilated extensive love for the Lord. Okay, not much. Then question 2. Compare the Krishna consciousness of the residents of Dwaraka with that of the residents of Vrindavan. 9. I think the answer is here. The Yadavas were all exceptionally learned and experienced, but in spite of their knowing the Lord as the one who lives in everyone's heart, they could not understand that He is the original personality of God. This lack of knowledge was not due to their insufficient erudition, it was due to their misfortune. Somebody is trying to come in. Ooh. How do I even find out that? Okay. It was due to their misfortune. In Vrindavan, however, the Lord was not even known as the Paramatma because the residents of Vrindavan uh, were pure, unconventional devotees of the Lord and could think of Him only as an object of love. They did not know that He is the personality of Godhead. It was not due to their insufficient erudition. Erudition means knowledge, scholarly knowledge. It is not that they did not know just because they did not study the scriptures. It's not like that. It was for some other reason. Whereas in Vrindavan, they are pure, unconventional devotees of the Lord. So they do not, uh, I mean, technically they know, but for all practical purposes, they don't know Krishna as Supreme Personality of God. Because they keep forgetting. Krishna attracts them so much that he makes them forget that he's a Supreme Personality of God. So they're more fortunate. 3. Why did Krishna not appear in human society in his Vaikuntha feature? Define the terms prakata and aprakata. This is all purport. Yeah, very simple. When Lord Krishna was within this universe, he seemed to be a human being because he appeared in a manner just suitable for his pastimes in the mortal world. He did not appear in human society in his Vaikuntha feature with 4 hands because that would not have been suitable for his pastimes. Define the terms prakata and aprakata. The answer is here. When the Lord's pastimes are visible to the human eye, they are called prakata, and when they are not visible, they are called aprakata. Question 4. Explain how the pastimes the Lord should be capital L here in the question, displays in the mortal world excel his mercy, displayed in the Vaikuntha Lokas. 12. In the Vaikuntha Lokas, the Lord is merciful toward the liberated or Nityamukta living entities, but in his pastimes in the mortal world, he is merciful even to the fallen souls who are Nityabadha or conditioned forever. The 6 excellent opulences which he displayed in the mortal world by the agency of his internal potency, Yogamaya, are rare even in the Vaikuntha Lokas. He is more merciful to the Nityabadhas. He is merciful even to the Nityabadhas. That's the correct version. And he displays his 6 excellent opulences uh, in such a manner that they are not even that such display is rare even in the Vaikuntha Lokas. Question 5. Explain why Krishna never goes beyond the boundary of Vrindavan. 12 to 15. First of all, is there any answer here? Here, for example.
In the 15th purport, it comes from.
14 has got something about Vrindavan. See, even look at this. Look at 14 towards the end.
And 14th purport itself, yeah.
It is said in the revealed scriptures that Lord Krishna personally never goes beyond the boundary of Vrindavan. He remains there eternally because of the transcendental love of the inhabitants. Thus, even though he is not visible at present, he is not away from Vrindavan for a moment. So I'm going to make a note that we want to see Question 6. Compare the results achieved by Shishupala, the soldiers killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and Putana. Why is there space before comma? Compare the results achieved by Shishupala, the soldiers killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and Putana, 19 to 23. Compare and all, unless the comparison is in the purport, it should not be here. This is compare and all is involving some intellectual work, understanding question. I think what we should, anyway, yesterday,
What is the difference between, I think they're asking the question is such that, what is the difference of destination that Shishupala attained, that armies in the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained and Putana attained?
Okay, let's have a look at the translation first. 19. Shishupala achieved success in yoga practice, although he hated Lord Krishna. The fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra achieved the abode of the Lord. 1920. 21, 22 doesn't seem to be 23 only. It should not be 19 to 23, it should be 19, 20, and 23. Putana, he granted the position of mother. Yeah, achieved success in yoga practice simply means that he merged into Krishna. In 20, they were purified by Arjuna's arrows and they achieved the abode of the Lord. This is the fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. 23, Putana was granted the position of a mother. It should be actually, this looks also, let me make a note. Okay, analogies. 8, purport. The urine of a cow is salty, and according to Ayurvedic medicine, the cow's urine is very effective in treating patients suffering from liver trouble. Such patients may not have any experience of the cow's milk because milk is never given to liver patients. But the liver patient may know that the cow has milk also, although he has never tasted it. Similarly, men who have experience only of this tiny planet, where the saltwater ocean exists, may take information from the revealed scriptures that there is also an ocean of milk, although we have never seen it. Eighth purport. From this ocean of milk, the moon was born, but the fish in the milk ocean could not recognize that the moon was not another fish and was different from them. The fish took the moon to be one of them, or maybe something illuminating, but nothing more. The unfortunate persons who do not recognize Lord Krishna are like such fish. 15 purport. As electricity is generated by friction of matter anywhere and everywhere, the Lord being all pervading appears because of the friction of devotees and non-devotees. 30 purport. Children play with toy lions, elephants, boars, and many similar dolls, which are broken by the children in course of their playing with them. Before the Almighty Lord, any powerful living being is just like a toy lion in the hands of a playing child. Three point three questions. 1. What general principle does Srila Prabhupada draw from the incident in which Sandipani Muni requested something which was impossible from Krishna? 2. This will come in the purport. The Muni, knowing the power of the Lord, asked something which was impossible to be done by anyone else. The teacher asked that his beloved son who had died be brought back to him, and the Lord fulfilled the request.
The principle is just after that too. The Lord is there for an ingrate to anyone who renders him some sort of service.
And 4, and ingrate anyone who renders him some sort of service. That is the principle. Okay. Question 2. What does the Lord fulfilling the request of Satyabhama indicate? He was pleased by her devotional service and thus wanted to reciprocate the unalloyed devotion of his devotee. Question 3. What does the example of Narakasura indicate about human nature? 6. Even a person born of good parents can turn into a demon by bad association. Birth is not always a criterion of goodness. Unless and until one is trained in the culture of good association, one cannot become good. 5. No, 4. Explain why the Lord referred to the others as more unbearable burden. 14. More unbearable burden.
Here in the last paragraph. Yeah, this. My Lord Krishna referred to the burden of the Hindu devotee, he referred to something different than the burden.
But why more unbearable burden? See, which is heavier than the actual burden of love. This is the point. In the absence of burdensome objects, one may feel the burden of separation, which is heavier to bear than the actual burden of love. But again, this is an understanding question. This is not because it's not explicitly spelled out in the purport.
And we have to write OVA also on that same, almost same type of question. We have OVA based on this only, this time.
Okay, then I'm cancelling this question. Question 5. Why did the Lord establish Maharaj Yudhishthira as the world emperor 18? In the right place now. This is 18. It is 18. The answer in the translation or not? No.
The first line of the purport.
Let me change question number 5. I'll change it, please. 5, 2, 1. Why was Maharaj Yudhishthira the ideal monarchical representative on the earth? Society. Question 6. What lesson can be drawn?
Prabhu, wait, please spell out the changes in the question.
The question will be, why was Maharaj Yudhishthira the ideal monarchical representative on the earth? That's all.
Okay.
Question 6. What lesson can be drawn from the cursing of the princess? Which cursing of which princess? Which princess got cursed? The Yadava princes were cursed. Okay, now we understand. 28. Kutaha. Okay, let me just assume the answer is here. This should be the answer. The Yadus were perfectly trained, civilized persons, and their being cursed by the Brahmana sages was only by the desire of the Lord. The whole incident was a warning to all concerned that no one should behave lightly with Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. That is a lesson. Analogy 21 purport. Lord Krishna is just like the moon, and the internal potential damsels are like the stars around the moon. Okay, just 1 minute. Let me get some water. Drink water. Three point four questions. 1. Analyze the good fortune of Maitreya's meeting with the Lord. 9 to 11. Something in the chat box. No one should behave lightly with the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. How to avoid this? How to avoid this? We should just become more careful in dealing with genuine Brahmanas, genuine Vaishnavas. Should be careful about these things. Okay, coming back to this question. Analyze the good fortune of Maitreya's meeting with the Lord. 9, 10, 11.
It will come in purport, I think, 9th purport, Prabhu.
While 11 is brought in, 11 is Krishna talking to Uddhava.
Uddhava, yeah.
Here. I think this is the point. To meet the Lord is not an ordinary incident. Maitreya was a great sage and a learned scholar philosopher, but not a pure devotee of the Lord. And therefore, his meeting with the Lord at that time may have been due to a Gyata Sukriti or some unknown devotional service. Pure devotees always engage in pure devotional activities, and therefore their meeting with the Lord is natural. But when those who are not up to that standard meet the Lord, it is due to the unforeseen fortune of accidental devotional service. So it's actually only 9. I should note this. Yeah, but wait. Okay, wait, I should just make something clear. Then question 2. Explain the difference between the Chatushloki Bhagavatam enunciated first to Brahmaji and that spoken to Uddhava, 19. The transcendental situation, the Lord's transcendental situation was not even spoken of to Brahma when the 4 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9.33 to 36 were explained. This transcendental situation comprises his dealings with devotees engaged in transcendental loving service as exhibited at Dwaraka and Vrindavan. When the Lord explained his specific transcendental situation, it was meant for Uddhava only. What happened? Nothing happened. Question 3. According to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sripad Shankaracharya preached the Mayavada philosophy for what particular purpose? According to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sripad Shankaracharya preached the Mayavada philosophy for a particular purpose. Such a philosophy was necessary to defeat the Buddhist philosophy of the non-existence of the spirit soul, but it was never meant for perpetual acceptance. It was an emergency. Question 4. Why did Shankaracharya not dare write any commentary on Bhagavatam? Why? This much. Since he was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, he did not, Shankaracharya did not dare write any commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam because that would have been a direct offense at the lotus feet of the Lord. Question 5. What did Uddhava do to mitigate his unbearable separation from the Lord? 21.
Translation itself comes.
It's clearer here. Uddhava's separation from the Lord was unbearable, and therefore he started to Badrikashrama in obedience to the Lord's order because the order of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. As long as one is engaged in the execution of the order of the Lord, there is no factual separation from him. Question 6. Explain the offense of Maryada Vyatikrama, 24 to 26. Hmm.
26 purport. That's all, not 24, 25, 26. Only 26 purport.
Okay. Explain the offense of Maryada Vyatikrama. This is very long. Oh, very. Whole purport. Too big. It's an important principle, but okay, wait. I've got an idea. Okay, anyway, it comes here. Offense of Maryada Vyatikrama. Discussion topics. I'll cancel it there. It actually requires at least some 3-4 minutes to explain it without reading it out. One has to explain it. I'll simply request that it should be cancelled. Question 7. Why was Uddhava advised to go to Badrikashrama? 4 and 30 to 31. Let me first look into this. Sorry, this. No, 4 is not there. Or simply says he was instructed to go to Badrikashrama. The reason is not stated here. Is the reason stated in the purport? 4.4, 2.4.4 purport.
Yes, he could associate with the devotees of
Narayana.
Narayana.
The association of devotion service increases eagerness for chanting, hearing, knowledge, and detachment. Also, to avoid the distresses which were to follow the disappearance of the election of the other dynasty. So 4 is correct. 30, 31. Disseminate specific knowledge of the personality of God. Analogy 8. Purport. The material energies represented by the banyan tree are all products of his external potency and are therefore kept to his back. And because his particular universe is the smallest of all, the banyan tree is therefore designated as small or as a child. Okay, what should we do? Do we have time for discussion topics? If it's 8:40, at least we can start off. 10 minutes, I'll give time for preparation. No, there won't be much time. But tomorrow we'll deal with